Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're new out of the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with 9 wins and 3 losses. 9 wins, 3 losses for a win rate of 75%, below my 85% target, which seems to be I've been struggling with my win rate lately, but I don't know what's going on. The market's been very, very tricky this past week. There's been a short week because Monday was closed the market was closed for Memorial Day. So we'll just get into it. And the 27th was Tuesday. So I've traded his room on the 27th. I said buy puts under 585. Where is the 27th? Right here. Yeah, we're looking at SPY puts because we had a huge gap up. We gapped up from 578 to, well, we're right around, yeah, we gapped up almost $10. So I was looking at puts right at open. And as soon as the market opened, I grabbed puts. I grabbed this. The wicks have been terrible lately too. I'd like to add that. It just seems like every day we have one of these massive wicks. But anyways, as soon as the market opened, it got underneath 586. I grabbed the 58.40 puts at 680. And they went from 680 to $11, so that ended up going pretty well. I was expecting it to fade a lot more, but it didn't. It just dropped a little bit and then just popped. Then it took calls at 1124, which is right here. As you can see, we had this massive run up. Then it started the flag right here, but once it broke high a day, I took calls. I took the 5900 calls at 750, and they went from 750 to 1060. So not my ideal day, not what I was expecting. A $10 gap up. I was expecting a bigger fade than what we did, but we didn't fade much at all. I was expecting at least half of it, which would have been around 583, but market does what it wants, not what you want it to do. So just gotta remember that and stop trying to forecast the future and what the market's gonna do. And the market's just gonna do what it wants. You just gotta trade what you see and just do that. That's all you can do. So the 28th, I said SPY puts into 590, which is rate 590, which is, whoa, down here, way down here. It's not way down there. It's only $1 off, $1.50 off. So yeah. And let's see, what did I do? I took puts. Okay, but first 10-minute candle was a massive green candle. Then it broke lower day on the second one, and that's just where I grabbed puts. I grabbed, yeah, I did grab the SPX. For some reason, I thought I grabbed SPY. I grabbed the SPX puts at 948, which is right here at lower day. I grabbed the 5910 puts at 720, and they went from 720 to 1060. What the hell? Okay, they went to 1060 2 times in a row. That's kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, went from 720 to 1060 on that play. So that ended up being a pretty good play. Then I took Tesla calls on the 28th, which is right here. Oh yeah, I remember this play. I took it at 1123, which is right here. Dropped down, came back up, rejected the 20 EMA, which is the blue line, came back down, consolidated a little bit, made a higher low. So when I got over this 363 area, that's when I was going to take the calls. And I took the 370 calls at $5. It broke a little bit, came back down, and I just dumped it because I think I was just having a frustrating day, or I was just in a frustrating mood or something. I remember one of the Tesla plays I had, I just got sick of it and I just dumped it. And I don't even think they even went green when I actually popped over here. Why is TOS lagging? TOS is lagging for some reason, so my thing is not working. I'll have to pause the video, see if I can get it to work. Okay, now it's working. TOS is such a piece of crap now. Lags like crazy. I noticed that the the ladder on the active trader is very, very slow. It's just, I don't know. It's been crap lately. But anyways, it just consolidated here, and I think this is the play I just dumped because I was sick of being in it and sick of just watching it. And yeah, I did end up breaking the 363 here again, but it didn't work out. So I'm glad I could just get out of it. Sometimes you just like I've had enough, and I'm done with it. But and then I took puts again on the SPY at 11:59, which is right here. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it there. I probably shouldn't have grabbed it there. Thinking, okay, maybe we'll break this 589 area and we flush through it, but it didn't. This was I was expecting this right here, but it didn't do that. So instead, right when I got in, those 5,900 puts I got at $9 went against me, and I ended up stopping out. So yeah, very, very annoying. I was really expecting this type of move right here to happen here, but it didn't. It stayed above the 589. This is the last 2 weeks, the 589 through 590 area, that zone, has been a huge magnet. Anytime it gets above it, it gets dropped down to it. Anytime it gets below it, it gets gravitate towards it. So it's been a huge area, and it probably will be until we break it. But yeah, then I took we had the SPX FOMC strangle at 140. I took it at 140, which is right here. I took the 5,900 puts at 330, and I took the calls at 650, the 5910 calls. Okay, the 5,900 puts were 330, and the 5910 calls is what I took. Okay, for some reason I thought I took both the same side. But anyways, they weren't both 5910. The puts were 5,900 and the calls were 5910. So, and this was SFOMC. This is it. Barely reacted. Didn't you can usually look right at the chart and see where the FOMC was. I mean, if you looked at it, you'd think this was it right here, but it wasn't. It was right here. It was this candle. So, luckily, I got it early on the drop. And when it popped up, those calls went from 650 to 960. I took it. I got out, and the puts I cut right away. So I ended up having a pretty good FOMC play, even though it didn't go that much. But the calls went $3 plus, and the puts I only lost $1.30 on. So definitely a good play. It worked out considering that it didn't do this. And I've been getting the FOMC strangles like almost a half an hour before, because usually before FOMC drops, we usually get a big move. It's been happening a lot the last 6 months to a year. We get a pre-FOMC move, and it ends up being a pretty good one, and you can usually take the entire move, or at least take half of it and still make some good money off it. There's been times where you've been able to take a good win and you can be able to reload. So yeah, FOMC has been good. The pre run-ups, but not this one. This one sucks. So then on to Thursday. Thursday we had this huge rally after hours. I think that was because of something tariffs again. I think it was when the court put a freeze on it or something like that, I think. And then the trade ideas room, I sit on the 29 puts into 591, which is right here, underneath 591.50, which is right here. It started to go up once it broke below the 592 area. I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 5,900 puts at 950, and they went from 950 to 1270 right there. So that ended up being a good play. Actually, I think I grabbed it underneath the 591.50. To be honest, I'm not quite sure, but anyways, I did grab the puts right here. It did work out. Now, was this another massive gap up too? Let's see. Yeah, another gap up from down here, 587 to 592. I mean, we were way up here. We were over $10, but we faded most of it. But we were still pretty gapped up pretty good. We're still $5 up even after this fade, and we're in a bear flag. So that's why I was looking at puts for it to finish closing the gap and break the bear flag, and that's exactly what did happen. Then I took calls at 11:28, which is right here. Yeah, I remember this. Bounced up the VWAP, pulled back, made a higher low, came back to VWAP quickly, so I grabbed the 59.35 calls at 7:20, and it didn't break. It pulled back, so I think I grabbed additional calls. I added to it right at here, right up underneath 589, thinking we were going to hold it. And so I added at 420, making my new average 570. Thinking we were going to hold the 589, and we were going to pop finally in a dump. So I cut it and got out. Was not happy about that. Then I took calls again at 12:06, which is right. Oh, I took it down here. This is another thing I've been 12:06. Yeah, this is another thing I've been noticing too. Is I'll just get to the play. Then I'll talk about what I noticed. We got this when it flushed through the 589. I took my stop, and then I decided I'm going to take calls after seeing this candle wick like this getting bought. So I grabbed the 5,900 calls at 980, and they went from 980 to $22 on that push right there. So what I've been noticing at least once a day is that it flushes through an area really hard and fast and gets bought up really quickly. So when you see it flush through like new low a day with a massive red candle, and you see the candle get bought up like that, I was actually having, when I bought the calls, I was having deja vu from this right here. This is what happened. This is FOMC, and this is not. This was at like almost 3 o'clock. It's just chopping and chopping, and it flushed through violently to low a day, and it got bought right back up, and it popped. So I was having deja vu from that. And so when I saw this happen, I thought of Wednesday after FOMC, and we got this massive tail candle, and it got bought. So that's why I jumped in the calls and grabbed the 5,900 calls, and it just got bought up and just went. Why is TOS stalling again? Oh God, this thing is such a piece of crap. But yeah, massive wick getting bought, and we had the same thing happen on Friday too, right here. Violent flush through lower day, and we had this massive tail candle, and look, it just rebounded. So you gotta keep an eye on these type of candles, these violent flushes and these tail candles, because this is what happened. In fact, I think I played this. No, I didn't. I was looking at the Friday plays, but anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself now. Friday, traded newsroom. I said SPY puts under 587, which is this low right here. It didn't really do anything. I didn't take it here, but I was watching calls on Tesla right here. 946. Okay, 946. I took Tesla. This is the 30th, right? No, this is not the 30th. Okay, so okay, here we go. This makes sense now. Okay, I took the Tesla 360 calls when I broke higher day right here. Make sure I get the right day over here. Okay, so I get a red candle right here. So I was looking at calls when I got when it's starting to get bought and go near higher day. So I was like, okay, Tesla's probably gonna pop. Anyway, so when it broke high day, I grabbed the 360 calls at 275. Pull back a little bit, then it ripped. So those 360 calls went from 275 to 480. There's a reason why I was looking at calls for that. Yeah, because it's been dropping right here, and so I was looking for a nice little rebound on that. So yeah, that ended up being a nice little play right there. It went against me a little bit, but it stayed above lower day, so I wasn't worried about that. Plus on Tesla plays, even if you're down $1, SPX, you can make that up in one trade very, very easily. So I don't mind being down underwater on Tesla and Meta and stuff like that, because those are so easy to make up on SPX. Even with a small position on SPX, you can make up a loss relatively easily. So yeah, it did end up take it off and end up being a good play. And then I took calls on SPY at 1011, which is right here when it broke higher day, going into the 589 area again. This 589 area has just been a huge magnet. Right up here. So as soon as it broke higher day, I grabbed the 5920 calls at 770, and they went from 770 to 1240, 1040, not 12, 1040, right into the 59, 589 area, and it got rejected. Didn't get up to the because PDC was right at 592, previous day's close on top of the zone, so I rejected that. Then I bought calls at 1045 right here when it dipped below 589. I grabbed the SPX 20 calls again, the SPX 5920 calls again at $7, and it pulled back a little bit more to VWAP. So when I got closer to VWAP, I did add. No, I didn't add here. I added right here. When I got underneath VWAP, I added at $5, make my new average 6. It popped up and went from $6 to $7.15. I took it. Glad I did, because I rejected this area again and came back down and flushed. So yeah, so I'm very happy that I took the dollar plus on that. Even though I was kind of expecting it to go back up to 590 and possibly going green, but I didn't get greedy. Instinct said to take it, and I did. Glad I did. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Lower day flush, massive hammer candle. And regardless if the hammer candle is red or green, anytime it's been flushing lower day and you see this massive hammer candle right here on the 10-minute, it's been a buy. They've been jumping in and they've just been ripping it. I mean, you get a complete V rally right here to new high a day. Right here, right back into the 590. So even if you did, well, I get it right here, but it went from what, 586 to $3 rally right there. Right here, the hammer was way up here, but still you got $1 plus out of that. It's been happening almost all week. I'm not quite sure if that is a legitimate hammer or if that's just a toss bullshit candle. But every time it's flushed through lower day, it gets violently bought up. So yeah, keep that in mind for next week. So that's going to do it for the recap. And yeah, thanks for watching.